Well, everyone, it's been a couple of days and I'm still kind of heated about the iPhone SE 3. I haven't really been venting my, feelings on Twitter or anything, so I have to come out and just say these things. I've been kind of talking about the same thing the last couple of days, but I genuinely do think the iPhone SE 3, the iPhone SE 2022 is a complete waste of money, and I actually loved the original iPhone SE. But I'm going to tell you guys, since that iPhone with the iPhone SE 2 and now with the iPhone SE 3, Apple has taken such a weird approach, and I'm not too sure where they're trying to go, because it seems like they are almost phasing out, I guess, those mid-tier iPhones, the iPhone 11 and the iPhone, 12 mini in a way, in order for them to sell their SE lineup. But I'm just confused because the iPhone 11 is way better looking of a phone and everything than the iPhone SE 3, and there's only $70 difference between them. But I don't understand why the iPhone SE 3 still has that older design. If the iPhone SE 3 had the same design as the iPhone 11, then I would be completely fine with them, removing, I guess, the iPhone 11, or they could have even just decreased the price of the iPhone 11 to $429 or something as of this point, and they didn't even have to release this phone in a way. But there's a reason they do it, and it's mostly because, for one, if you want the cheapest iPhone, you have this option, but I think this is going to incline more people to pick up the iPhone 11 in a way, because, it's a little bit more expensive and it looks visually better. Now with the iPhone SE 3, the biggest thing that I've been noticing is that it doesn't fix anything that we've had problems with the previous iPhone SE. With the SE 2, the biggest complaints really were the camera, pretty much the battery life. That was probably the biggest complaint of all time, and that was really it. The design was the big thing, I would say, the home button and everything, but we know Apple's probably not going to go ahead and remove that just yet. And one thing I've been seeing from a ton of people across the board is that, well, Apple is saying that with the newer, Apple A15 Bionic chip, then, technically they say it's going to give you 2 extra battery life. It's going to give you 2 hours extra battery life, whatever the case is. I'm going to tell you guys right now, Apple has stated this exact same thing with so many different iPhones. If you look back to even like an iPhone like 7 Plus, iPhone 8 Plus, iPhone 6 Plus, 6S Plus, all these iPhones, iPhone XS, Apple always states that because of this newer chipset, you are getting the same great battery life, or you're getting an extra hour of video playback, whatever the case. They just kind of say these things all the time, but I'm going to tell you guys that's really never really been accurate. They said the same thing with the iPhone 12s, and the only times this has been accurate is with the iPhone 11 series and the iPhone 13 series. Pretty much every other iPhone before or after that, they haven't really been super accurate with the battery life, and that's just coming from personal experience. So maybe in their tests, maybe they have it under like super controlled conditions, and then maybe that's accurate, but in my opinion, it just really isn't the case. I really don't see the chip having that big of an effect. It's usually the battery size. Now this iPhone is also bringing 5G, which is an awesome feature, but it is going to suck up a lot of battery life, and I really don't think people are going to be using 5G a lot, but we do have the ability to turn off 5G, so I don't think it's a crazy big deal, for that specific situation. I'm just kind of disappointed that they kept the same exact cameras, they kept the same battery size, but they also increased the price tag. That was one of my biggest complaints of all time, and something I hate seeing from any manufacturer. When Samsung does it, when, Apple does it with their iPhones, or even any other products, it just doesn't make any sense. And the thing I have a bigger issue with is I've been seeing a lot of people stating, well, they had to add 5G and they had to add a new chipset, so that's why it's more expensive. But in the same exact keynote, they dropped the iPad Air 5, which also brought the latest chipset, and in my opinion, a better chipset, which is that M1 chipset, and that one has 5G in it as well. But they kept that same $599 price tag as the iPad Air 4. So just because they add those new, chipsets or whatever and the new 5G doesn't mean they have to increase the price. And that was the one thing that kind of weirded me out. The iPad Air 5 is almost like the iPhone SE in a way. And for them to increase the price tag of this, but to keep the same price tag as that one, really doesn't make too much sense to me in my opinion. All in all, I think I'm really thinking the iPhone SE 3 is pretty much a waste of money. And I would much rather have like a used iPhone 11 that's way cheaper than this, or even buy a brand new iPhone 11 for $70 more than to pick up this thing. I just don't see a situation where this would be a good idea. Even if you're trying to save the most amount of money, you can even go in the certified refurbished market, even on Apple's website, and probably buy like a really good iPhone on there that's probably the same price, maybe a little bit more expensive, maybe even cheaper than this one, and it'll give you a better experience. So that kind of covers it up. If you guys have any other questions or anything, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.